Hey guys, listen, I'm back, and this is the reason I'm here today because, and I'm not really upset at these people in Greenville, Tennessee, because this is who they are. It's just that this was posted 5 months ago, right before my brother and his wife were taken over there to have their trial, and there's a reason for it. Look, this is a caravan of Confederate flags fluttered along Greene County roads Friday evening during a rally. Now, you know about these Confederate flag rallies before they called it some other kind of rallies, like the Ku Klux Klan rally. That was a big thing back in the day. And a lot of people think, well, that was way back. But I'm going to relate a story to you. But look, um, let me see, through a private Facebook group called Greenville Confederate Flag Rally, Ward explained that it organized a caravan by setting meeting points at all four public high schools in the county school system: South Greene High School, North Greene, Chuck Doak High School, and West Greene High School. These are high schools they met at. And then using their private Facebook group, family, friends, and other appointed leaders from each of these four school zones, Ward said he encouraged people in all four quadrants of Greene County to meet at their respective high schools and then converge at the intersection of Asheville Highway and West Main Street. Now, it may not be hate groups, but if you're black, you need to be running when they come along with this. They're hanging out there, throwing, and I've been there, throwing eggs and so forth at you. This is the kind of thing that go on. Now, it may not be hate, but I've been there, I'm telling you. And I want to relate a story really quickly. You can read this. Just look it up. The Greenville Sun. I didn't make this up. This is online. I just pulled it up. Somebody sent it to me, actually. But if you go and read this, you'll find out why they actually took my brother and his wife there. They know that there's no way in the hell you could get a fair trial. And that judge, and I don't know for sure, but I would imagine that he is part of this group. That's my imagination. Hopefully I have the right to imagine and think and say whatever I want to in America. But I would imagine that this judge is behind that. And then this one guy on the jury who seems to be one of their organizers, and he and the judge are buddy, and the judge was doing certain things. But let me relate a quick story real quick. When I graduated high school in 1973, in Greene County, North Carolina, there was a little place owned by a black man, and it was a restaurant, Pete Price's restaurant, and it had a side that was for blacks, and it had a side for whites. The white side had seating and sit-down dining. The black side had just some stools, and you order takeout. And I got a job as soon as I graduated high school working at DuPont, and money was pretty good. So some of my friends that weren't working at the time, hanging out in the area, said, well, hey, man, take us to lunch. So I said, yeah, let's go over here then. I'd never been in the place. I heard about the reputation, and it being segregated. And at the time, it was pretty much full. It was during, like lunchtime. And the side with the seating was pretty much full. I guess the other side was as well. Well, I said, let's go over here. And they were like, man, you're crazy, but we're going to do it. So we go in there, we sit down, and I sit with my back facing the door, and I'm waiting. And all of a sudden, I see my friends look up, and then I look back, and this little fat wobbly guy came out and stuck a gun to my head. And he said, nigger, you're in the wrong place. And he with the gun, of course, I got the hell up and I moved on out of there. And we went home, pissed off. But by the time I got home, there was the police there ready to arrest me. And then when they took me to the jail and the magistrate was doing the thing and fingerprinting me, this is public. You don't have to believe me. This is public. This is 1973, Snow Hill, North Carolina. You can look it up if you really want to. I can imagine it's still there. It should be. But anyway, they jailed me and my friends, and my older brother, came and bailed us out. And then this thing was getting ready to go to trial. And because he had accused us as threatening to bomb his place. But before that, I want to tell you, the magistrate, when I got there, and she was I was trying to tell her, listen, this is a guy, he threw me out with a gun to my head. She said, well, the only thing he did wrong was he didn't pull the trigger. And I was like, damn, did she just say that? And sure enough, she did. It was like, and had it not been for my brother working with someone who was an activist in the NAACP, I don't know where it would have gone, but I was 18 years old. They placed a call, NAACP placed a call, and this thing was dropped. It went away. Um, I really, and I've been remiss. I've given and I've been a member of NAACP, but not very active. This morning I made $1,000 donation. I'm getting back. I'm going to be active. I'm going to be in this thing because it's not about just my brother and his wife. It's about all of this stuff that's going on right now, the suppression, oppression, so forth. And these things have to change. And it may not be you right now, but I have something that I want to share, and I'll do another short little video about the Department of Justice. And this is not just black. If you're white, if you're Latino, if you're whatever, there are some things that you will not believe that the Department of Justice is doing. Allowing, I mean, think about it. They can take testimony of witnesses and so forth. They don't record anything. They're not required to record anything. They're not even required to write it down and ask you to look at it and verify that it's your signature. I have something here, and I'll pull it up. I'll do another short video because I don't want to go on too long. But read these things. Think about these things. It's not you. It's me right now. But hell, it will be you sometimes, or somebody that you know. Even if you're a senator or whomever, you could get pulled into these same kinds of things, not just this one, but especially this thing about the way they take these or don't take testimony and ability to lie. So just because they work for the Department of Justice, which seems as though it would be justice, fair, equal, and you know, the lady with the blindfold on her head and the balance of justice like this, you know, you've seen that. It's supposed to be blindfolded and equal. That is not happening. It never has, I don't think, but it should be under the Constitution. And we have to fight to make this thing right. You have to fight with me. You have to fight with all of us that are looking for some kind of justice here in America. Don't let it just be, well, I'm not black, so it doesn't affect me. Yeah, you'll be affected. And when, as that the saying goes, when it was just the Jews and everybody stood back and I'm not Jews, or if it was this and I stood back because it didn't involve me, and sooner or later it came down when it got to me, there was nobody there. It'll happen. It'll happen to someone that you know, so you need to be involved on these things. And I want to say more about it. I'm going to do another